Hello, YouTube. This is going to be a video by me on a number of things. First off, I just want to say that I think really if the Democrats kind of want to get on board with some of what I see to be obvious changes they should make, and that I have been they should make since like the year 2012 or something like that. Or if maybe there's another party starting up, let's say I start up another party. Let's say I was able to start up a party. I won the lottery or something. Somehow I was able to, or whatever happens. There are some very obvious changes I think they need to make, and I will say to the Democrats' favor, they have made some of those changes, and I think they are doing better. And I see more excitement and more momentum building is for a Democratic presidency. But at the same time, I also see a lot of things they do wrong, and some of them more so than others. Unbelievably, as some people have speculated, and that tells you right there is some truth to people like Alex Jones and other people. Regardless of some of the more nonsensical things they say, some of what they say is true because there is actually a building belief by some and building proof that Hillary Clinton, of all people, might be trying to get back into fucking election after she has now obviously lost like 2 or 3 different fucking presidential bids. And everyone in the entire country on both the Republican and Democratic side has let this woman know they do not want her to be president and they will not vote for her. She might still be trying to steal the Democratic nomination all over again. I'll go into detail about that later, I guess, or I'll try to. But more importantly than all that, I think that there are ways of really challenging the Democrats and the Republican Party, and what we need to be above all else is still obviously, if there were to be a new party, it should be obviously anti-Republican, anti-conservative, and we need to stick to truly liberal principles and values, and we need to look at humanist ideals and practices and beliefs in humanism, and we really need to hold that up as a standard bearer for what our party should be and for what we believe in and what we push. And that does not require atheism, for example, but it certainly means that if you are religious, you still have to fit into these humanist concepts and ideals about human life and how to change things and make things better, instead of doing much of the same negative things that religion has been doing, and that you see Democrats defending and not doing much to stop, and you see certainly the Republicans promoting this. But also, I think we need to target new groups while at the same time trying to hold together or get as much as that typical kind of norm for the Democratic base, or the normal Democratic base. We need to get as much of that as possible. Female voters. Obviously, we want the LGBTQ community, not only for strategic reasons, but because I am a huge supporter of LGBTQ people, and so on and so forth. But we also need to look at bases that maybe we haven't looked at before that we can get some votes on, such as the men and who are human beings and they have problems. The suicide problem is one. I've talked about that, and obviously circumcision, but I'm just about tired of talking about that. So let's just say suicide, for example. That is a huge male problem, and trying to get that vote and trying to inquire that over to us. And there's strategic ways of doing that. And we also want to go about differentiating ourselves from the traditional Democratic Party and the mainstream Democrats. We want to be different from that. And that is something that a new political party, or let's say a Democrat version 2 party or a new Democratic Party would want to do. Let's say we were a different version of the Democrats. We would want to differentiate ourselves from the original. We want to be a copycat, lesser, kind of, juniorish, like junior version 2 kind of Diet Coke version of the fucking Democratic Party. We're going to want to eventually carve out an identity for ourselves and be the original version of whatever the hell we were. And what we want to be above all else is authentically liberal in ways that the Democratic Party just are not being. And real, we want to be real, and we want to speak to problems that the Democratic Party don't speak to, and we want to be humanist, and that is what we're about. But supporting the males in the Male Rights Party, for example, and I think that is an easy thing to do. That is an easy demographic to succeed in taking, or to convert over to voters for us, because obviously the Democrats aren't really trying to get them. They want the feminist vote. And of course, you're never going to get the feminist vote unless you just go totally 100% their way. And a lot of what some feminists want is crazy, and they're never going to be happy until they get 100% of what they want. That's just the way they are. And the Republicans don't care about men because they don't care about men or women or anyone. The only thing they care about is money. So they care about money, so they don't give a fuck about men. I think most men know that. They just vote kind of for Republicans instead of Democrats because of the feminism. So that would be an easy vote to get, and that's a way of differentiating ourselves. We also want to support children and animal rights. They can't vote. Animals can't vote at all, and children can't vote yet. They also matter. And again, it's another way of differentiating ourselves. We're different. But I think above that, and I think we need to stand out and be different also. But I think above all that, also you need to condition these children to one day be future voters for you. You need to get them to vote for you. And that is to support them in their rights, even when maybe that wasn't currently politically expedient for you to do so. When they finally do reach 18, maybe they're going to have a more positive view of you. And I've talked enough about that, I guess, but I think that that's how you want to go about really formulating a platform, or at least the beginnings of a platform to really challenge the current Democratic Party while not helping the Republicans and building up yourselves to challenge the Republicans once you get the Democrats out of the way. And that's really what we should be doing. A kind of a liberal party, liberal political party. And we need, like I said before in one of my other videos, I think the second to last video I made, the one before the last one, that I had to make because of some idiots that censored me or whatever. And like I said before, those were no one you would know. This was a very small channel and no one watches them. They had like 300 something people watching that one video I was bitching about in 30 years. But that's not even the point. The video I made before that one, I talked about we need more political parties because as it is now, it's Democrat or Republican. And the Democrats have kind of pigeonholed certain voters where to the point where you have to vote for them. And I'm sure the Republicans have done the same thing for some of their voters, where it's like you either have to vote for them or the other guy because there's nowhere else to go. So it's like to me and you, by the way, Trump seems like a legitimate, reasonable, legitimate alternative to the Democrats, if for no other reason than the Democrats are more pro-war at this point than Trump is, even though they never used to be. And of course, the rest of the Republicans are much the same as they have always been. They haven't changed. They're not going to change. They haven't learned a damn thing, whether you like Trump or not. I'm sure if he does get out of the way, I mean, there's a good chance Republicans are going to go back to doing what they're going to do, and the Democrats would take back the government anyways, because in fact, the worst thing they can do is for Trump to be impeached, because if Trump gets impeached, then a lot of people will vote for Republicans as a protest vote. But when Trump finally does lose or he leaves office, that's going to lead to the Republicans doing the same thing the Republicans did under Bush and the same thing they did for years under Reagan. So they're going to be right back to the original Republicans, the same as they always were. And the Democrats are going to win simply because there's no other alternative, because you're not going to vote for the Republicans because they're the same now as they were under Bush. You just vote for the same shit. Because Trump is a little bit different, or at least he tries to come across as he is. And the Republicans, however, a lot of them are already turning on him. We've seen Fox News turn on him, or we have seen Fox News turn on him, and they're neoconservatives, and they want to. They're part of the cult of production and consumerism, and they're capitalists, and they want a lot of the same shit they always did. And they're a very moderate, toned down version of Democrats, and Democrats are already themselves conservative, but they're not really conservatives either, and no one wants to support them. They're just cocksuckers, and no one likes them. They're pro-war, they love war, they're always going to be in wars, and that's what I want to talk about now, if I can. But the point is, we have to be the alternative to all of that, because part of what the Democrats do wrong is by running people like a fucking Hillary Clinton that I'm about to talk about in a little bit. And people like that, and all that ends up doing, and I've seen that Beto, or whatever his name is, he's out of the race. And these are very centrist, middle of the road people that are, are also corporate and banker backed, and they're lying, and they're saying anything to get elected, and they speak out of both sides of their mouth, and we know that. So a lot of what they do is they leave the field open for people like a Trump to happen. And before that, even though he didn't have the money or the ability to run, Ron Paul was kind of like that. And I'm about to talk about his son, Rand Paul, in a positive way, actually, compared to these other idiots. But the Democratic Party allowed for things like this to happen because they're not appealing to much of their base. But more importantly, let's look at the other voters. And that's one of the things they don't do. It's kind of like a lot of TV shows like WWE, for example, that no one watches anymore. They don't look at their lapsed viewers, the people that used to watch, and ask them what do they want. Like the Attitude Era fans. And it's the same damn way, or the same damn thing with the Democrats. They don't look at lapsed voters, people that used to vote Democrat. It's not centrist, because there are liberals that don't vote Democrat anymore because they stopped promoting certain liberal policies and they are more conservative, if anything. And they found that out when they ran the centrist, Hillary Clinton, and they run other centrists and they don't win. So there are plenty of liberal, left-leaning, and left-wing Democrats that just don't vote Democrat anymore because, or they don't care enough to turn out, or they don't like the Democrats who are running and they don't vote. And you need to talk to those people in the centrist and anyone else and find out why aren't they voting. Not conservatives, because they already have their niche. They have the fucking Republicans and they're going to go vote for that, you know. But anyways, getting on with this, I know that Rand Paul, I didn't write that down, but Rand Paul was on The View, and this is one of the older views from, or not views, or videos from Secular Talk. And I just get to the point here, but I did watch the video, and I don't like doing that. That's one reason I like getting my content from InfoWars, because I don't like to have to watch the content, because I try to give my original opinion, and now I know what his opinion is, and I'm just going to say a lot of what he said because, you know, I don't really disagree with him. But he started it out right off the bat, right after you watch part of the video of them talking. It's like they're at the end, they talk about all this different shit, and then they talk about Israel and how close do they need to be to Israel, something before they're a threat. And it's like you're really starting to understand now. Like, I mean, you know, you could go deep into that. Let's just say that, and he brought that up. You could go deep into what that's about, but not even counting that. Let's not even worry about that. It also goes back to what Rand Paul said. We're allies with the Turks, or I talked about a few weeks ago or a month ago, whatever. I accidentally said that I thought they wanted us to leave, but they wanted us to stay, and they said the Turks are going to come in and slaughter everyone. Well, so okay, then, so what are we going to do? We're going to fight the Turks now, who are still our allies. So how are we going to position ourselves to do that? Because the people that the Kurds or the Kurdish people are supposedly afraid of are actually the Turks, and we're allies with the Turks. So what are we supposed to do? Go in now and have a war with our allies? So it doesn't make any sense. And these same people that don't want us to leave Syria, and we supposedly only have like 50 people really stationed on the ground. So you've got like 50 people now that supposed to fight thousands of fucking Turkish soldiers en masking. And it's insane. It's a much more complex situation than what they want to talk about. And they talk about Assad being a threat to us. They're the same damn people that would have said Saddam was a threat to us. And he's not a threat to us. Maybe a threat. Damn. Maybe a threat to his people. Maybe he is. Maybe he's a threat to some other countries in the region. He's certainly no threat to us. But what you're going to do, and Rand Paul brought this up, is you're going to radicalize and give more power over to many of the radical Sunnis that Assad is fighting against, and competing for control of that region over. And you're only going to create people that are a threat to us. But again, there would be the same people saying right now, and they're saying, these Dick Cheney type people, that we should never leave fucking Iraq, we should never leave Afghanistan. And they're okay, by the way, when we bomb people, when we have bombed people. Supposedly one of, I think it was Trump's first military campaign actually hit and killed a 8-year-old girl in one of his killings. They're okay with all of that, but they don't want us to leave because someone else might kill some of them. But we can stay over there and bomb people, and they don't seem to have anything to say about that. And these are Democrats on The View that are supposed to be against this. I'm sorry, but that's not what the fuck I and a lot of other people signed up for. We didn't sign up for this. Let's just support whatever fucking Democrats, you know, get on there. We didn't do that, and that's bullshit. And Pat Robertson, of course, also going after and attacking Trump, and Trump, that's on the right. So Pat Robertson's this religious guy. He's supposed to be pro-Trump, but he's attacking him, saying he's losing the mandate of heaven. You know, it's funny. I don't remember hearing about or seeing America in the Bible. In fact, I'm pretty sure there wasn't an America back in those days. And I don't see why or know why you would think America, out of all the countries on earth, including Israel, by the way, would have some special place in God's eyes. I mean, I would imagine he would be like, no, you know, he's seeing the country pretty evenly. But I guess in America, we're supposed to be special. And again, what he really would want is for us to go all over the world. The same God that said, make blessed is a peacemaker. What he really wants is for us to station troops in every country across the world and never come the fuck home and bomb the shit out of everyone. That's what Jesus would want. Let's see. It's okay to be white posters. This is from InfoWars. But the it's okay to be white posters are being considered a hate crime. And first of all, let me say I'm pretty sure everyone thinks it's okay to be white. I mean, there seem to be enough of you. I don't think most people are telling white people, hey, it's not okay to be what you are. I mean, like, hey, you're a white guy. You're gonna have to go around wearing something black. I mean, I don't know anyone that does that. Put on this black face paint. In fact, they're getting in trouble for doing that. But at the same time, it's not a fucking hate crime to say that. Okay, let's look at this. It's okay to be white. Well, there's nothing hateful about that. It's not saying it's not okay to be something else. So that's crazy. But who the hell knows what goes on there, and I couldn't tell you. But whatever. Transgender person. Oh yeah, there's a transgender person that hit a preacher in the head with a stiletto somewhere in New York, and they're acting like this is a bad thing. And obviously there's no right to attack someone or use violence. I'm not saying anyone has a right to do that ever. But at the same time, these preachers, if you got a preacher up there and he's talking about Aryan supremacy or white supremacy and some kind of, what do they call it? I guess British Israeli Christian identity, and he was talking about black people, and a black guy kicked his ass, you would be like, well, that's what he gets for being a racist, and that was a hate speech. Well, why is it should be the same thing for this shit. Why is it okay for these Christians to talk shit about transgender people and gay people and then get mad when the gay person attacks them? It's all hate speech. What the fuck is the difference? But again, there's no reason for anyone to meet speech with violence. I don't care what they're saying. But it still comes back down to he was engaging in essentially what would amount to a form of hate speech. And Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton, like I said, was getting back in the damn race, and this could possibly fuck it up for the Republicans. Rather the Democrats once again. And no one wants to vote for her. No one sent for her. No one cares. She lost the fucking election the last time. She lost against Obama before that. Every government job she has gotten almost but one, she was not elected for. She wasn't elected to be the first lady. She wasn't elected to be the Secretary of State. She's lost both fucking elections. They went out of the way and did everything they could to rig the system so she would win. And now they're trying to put her back in the damn game so she'll win again. And I don't care if you're saying, well, she's the first female. Well, there's other females running. Vote for them. Or whatever else you're saying. It's not her turn. This isn't a monarchy. She doesn't just get elected because she was married to somebody and, she was in the government before and it's her turn. No, it's no one's turn. It's the turn for whoever the hell we vote for. And I don't care if they got into politics yesterday. If they can fucking win, they win. Okay, Obama wasn't around that long. We voted for him. Guess what? He won. It wasn't his turn. It wasn't Trump's turn. You know what? We voted for him. He won. So bullshit on that. Finally, Trevor Noah trashes Kanye. And I like how every time one of these religious fucking fanatics has someone else attack them for their religious bullshit, they want to fucking say crap like, they act like they're Christian, like they're these good Christian people, moral leaders. And again, what is Kanye West? And he's right about some ways. I'm not saying that there's no truth to what Kanye West says about the Democratic Party kind of keeping black people on like a plantation, because in some ways you're right. And they did used to be the party of the Klan. That's true. But at the same time, a lot of what the Democrats want is to give people welfare, food stamps, Social Security, better Medicaid, better Medicare, things like that. And all the Republican wants to do is fuck you over and make you work for them. And that really is the truth. And, I just don't see, and they don't want them, I guess, is helping black people to stop a black person that needs welfare from getting welfare. And of course, they would essentially believe the same thing about white people that need it or anyone else. They want to stop everyone from getting help. They want to stop your help. That's helping them how? And I was going to say something else about The View, and I don't even remember what it is, but I want to end this by saying The View is bullshit, and I don't know anyone that watches them. And I don't even know how that's still on air, and they're just keeping it on air to be keeping it on air to try to tell you what to think, and it doesn't work. But beyond that, don't circumcise your children. That's bullshit. And that's been propaganda they've been pushing for years, and we need to stop doing that. But of course, if you want to, go ahead and do it, because I have come to the realization that whether it be circumcision or anything else, I can't make you care, and I can't make you give a shit about your kids. You have to care for you and for yourself, and I can't make you do that. So if you don't give a shit, you don't care about your kids, and what the fuck can I do, But I would rather you not mutilate your kid's dick. That's all. P666.